What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back again with another video. Today we're going to be looking at something that was discussed a couple days ago that I didn't end up making a video on, and that is like a way too early prediction on where and how much Morgan Rielly would sign for. And Lau Richardson, a guy that I've talked about before on this channel, wrote an article for Bleacher Report talking about some free agents that might sign and how much money, where they're going to go. But of course, being a Leaf fan, making Leaf videos, we're talking about the guy that is the most polarizing player going into the offseason, and that's Morgan Rielly. So if you are new to this channel, make sure to like this video and subscribe. I know there's a ton of people that watch these videos that continually come back, but they don't subscribe. I would really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe here. Thank you to all the new subscribers and all the returning subscribers over time. I greatly appreciate you, but let's get on to the video. So, as we know, this offseason, lots of defensemen signed for big money. Now, over time, there's been a lot of defensemen that have been overpaid, and unfortunately, that doesn't bode well for the Toronto Maple Leafs, because Morgan Rielly, who did say he would take a hometown discount, how much is that discount going to be? And if I was him, I would not be too worried about taking that discount. Now, it could depend where this team is at the midway point. It could depend on how they do after this season. But if Morgan Rielly has another productive offensive year and just is steady defensively, which, I mean, he kind of was this past season. He did pretty well defensively in the playoffs, and he always gives you offense. He's going to be looking for big money. What's a hometown discount? People are saying, oh, 6.5. Morgan Rielly was getting paid $5 million. If he takes only $1 million, $1.5 million increase this offseason, I would be really shocked. I think that number starts at 7.5. I think that 7 is a hometown discount. I think 7.5 is minimum what he gets in the open market. I think 8 could possibly be the minimum of what he gets in the open market. You watching this might not think he's worth that much, but did you guys see some of the deals that were signed this offseason? Before we do that, or I mean, some of them are going to be in here, but Dougie Hamilton, rightfully so, $9 million. He was the big fish. I mean, Morgan Rielly puts up pretty damn close numbers to him offensively. Maybe not as good defensively. Pretty damn close, though. $9 million. We seen PK Subban years ago get that $9 million contract. Yossi's in at $9 million. Doughty and Carlson are over 11. Makar, we're not going to talk too much about. He's up and coming, $9 million, but he's a stud. Pietrangelo, 8.8. Heiskanen, 8.4. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, 8.2. Obviously, some of these deals are older, but Jacob Trouba, $8 million. The list goes on and on. There's a ton of contracts here that are massive. There's a lot of guys on this list that are getting paid $7+ million, $8+ million, that when they signed the deal were just as good. Maybe some were better, but there's a lot of guys that signed that might have not been as good as Morgan Rielly. And I'm not saying the guys that I mentioned that I've already said, but there's a few of them that I've mentioned that Morgan Rielly is better than, and there's a ton on that list. All you got to do is go on Cap Friendly and look it up. Shout out to Cap Friendly again, one of the best websites. I use it all the time. This isn't some like branded thing or whatever. I just love Cap Friendly, and I think you guys do as well. They're lifesavers. But anyways, Morgan Rielly is going to be looking for the bag. The guy is still fairly young. He puts up big numbers. And I want to get to this article, okay, because this is important. So we don't need to be reminded, but the 54-year Stanley Cup drought, blah, 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 blah. Their limited projected salary cap space could make it difficult to re-sign Morgan Rielly. That is a big quote right there that we will get to in a second. The Leafs' top defenseman Rielly is heading into the final season of a 6-year contract, which was a beautiful deal signed by Lou Lamoriello at $5 million. Obviously been a very good bargain. Now, let me just stop right there. I praised Lou Lamoriello for that contract. I loved when he signed Nazem Kadri as well. But let me remind you guys, and I'm not looking for an argument in the comments. I'm not looking for people to start going crazy in the comments. But Lou Lamoriello did not do anything for this Leafs blue line. He signed Nikita Zaitsev. That was his big move. That was his big move for this blue line. Ron Hainsey. Guys, Lou Lamoriello didn't give a crap about the Leafs blue line for a long time. Actually, pretty much he just didn't care the whole time. He didn't look to upgrade it. Who else did he get? Who? Guys, it wasn't very good. And bringing in guys like TJ Brody and Jake Muzzin and playing Justin Hall and everything like that is on Kyle Dubas and Sheldon Keefe, because Babcock didn't like Justin Hall and Lou Lamoriello didn't bring any help for Morgan Rielly ever. Cody Ceci and all these other guys that, Dubas tried with Ceci and, because Babcock loved them and all this other stuff. No, it doesn't work, okay? None of that stuff worked. So having Morgan Rielly playing with those guys for that long kind of sucked, but he'll be 27 years old, looking for a big raise, of course. So he's tallied 27 or more points in each of his 8 NHL seasons, obviously including a career best 72 points in the 18-19 season. Boy, he was dynamite. Regardless of looking at those numbers, they're comparing him to the Dougie Hamilton contract that got $9 million on a 7-year deal. They're talking about the Seattle Kraken possibly paying a bunch of money, giving him $9 million per season on a 7-year deal. Now, I'm just going to stop right there and say I don't believe it would be 9. But if that's what they're predicting, a way too early prediction, the Leafs are 100% not re-signing Morgan Rielly. That is way too much money, even with the cap hit projected to go up to 82 or 82.5, which I've pulled up right here. That would leave the Leafs with $13 million in cap space without 2 players for their bottom 2 lines, with a roster that doesn't look too fantastic, with 2 defensemen that need to be signed, obviously including Morgan Rielly, including Rasmus Sandin and Timothy Liljegren. Jack Campbell would also need a contract. They've got not a ton to play with here in their non-roster, no scratches, nothing here, but $13 million. So if Morgan Rielly was to take up, $9 million or $8 million or $8.5 million, the Leafs are screwed. They don't have guys to fill in here. They would need really cheap guys here, unless you end up trading Kerfoot and hope that some of your younger guys come up, like a Gogolev or a Joey Anderson, something like that. But that doesn't make this team any better. So what would the Leafs do if that was the dollar amount? And again, I'm not saying that's the dollar amount. Lyle Richardson's not saying that that's the dollar amount. It's an early prediction, but it's also a discussion piece. I like bringing these up to you guys because I want you guys to give me your opinion. But I need to let you guys know, Morgan Rielly is not taking a $6 or $6.5 million contract. His agent would probably slap him in the mouth if he said that's the money that he was looking for. There's way too many defensemen out there that are getting paid a ton. I mean, guys, I don't want to say names, but Jacob Trouba. You don't think Morgan Rielly should make more than Jacob Trouba? Look at his defensive numbers. Look at his offensive numbers. Morgan Rielly puts up offensive numbers. And finally, wouldn't you know it, with a guy that can actually play defense beside him, TJ Brody, who was fantastic, one of the Leafs MVPs last year, Morgan Rielly looks a little better defensively. All you got to do is put him with a guy that might be able to play some defense, and he looks better defensively. Doesn't matter how it looks when he goes to get a contract. He'll say, I play better with better players. Sure, a lot of people do. But I put up big numbers with nobody for years. I was quarterbacking the power play. I was playing during some of the worst years that this Leafs team ever seen. You guys forget, Morgan Rielly came in here really young with a team that was not good. They refused to play him and Gardner together, which to me still doesn't make sense, because they would have been at least good together. They both were offensive. Wanted to toss them out there and let them run free together. But they were pairing them with donkeys. I'm sorry, I have to say it. But they didn't get this guy any help. This team would have been so much better had you given Morgan Rielly defensive help, had you gone out there and gotten a Jake Muzzin or a TJ Brody a year before that with Lou Lamoriello as the GM. They would have been much better. They would have been set up so much better. Could you imagine, with all that cap space, the caliber of defenseman that they could have brought in? And now you might lose Morgan Rielly in next year's offseason. And again, this is a way too early prediction. It's a way too early video. But I just want to let you guys know, and this is teeing up for my next video, which you guys will see, hopefully, if you're subscribed, about why this is all or nothing for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Forget the Amazon series, which I probably will end up watching, even though I don't want to. It wasn't all or nothing last season. It's all or nothing this upcoming season. And I'm going to be making a video on that. And Morgan Rielly is a part of that. So I want to leave it to you guys. Comment down below. Leave me some suggestions. Tell me what the contract's going to look like. Maybe I'll put a poll up after this video goes up a day after, something like that. But what's the dollar amount going to be? How many years do you think he's going to leave? Are they going to trade him at the deadline? Who knows? If you are new to this channel, make sure to like this video and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. Join the squad. I appreciate you guys as always. I love and appreciate you guys as always. Thank you so much. Go Leafs, go. I love Morgan Rielly. I'd like him to stay. But damn, it's not looking too good. Peace.